Since Barack Obama won the election, the stock market is falling 12%. The Wall Street Journal and others have labeled this drop the Barack market, reflecting the higher taxes on everything from capital gains and dividends to income and increased regulations. They are right, but they're thinking much too narrowly. Much, if not all, of any recession and economic problems is due to democratic policies. The media focuses on the drop in housing prices, consumer purchases, or stock prices as the cause of economic problems, problems that they view as unrelated to democratic policies. Democrats have been the ones pushing for federal regulations that forced lending institutions to make risky loans, either through the threat of penalties or through subsidies from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. They protected Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac from regulations. While Barack Obama claims that he fought for more financial market regulation, the regulations that he wanted would not have stabilized the markets. Quite the contrary, he supported regulations that went after so-called predatory lenders who were charging too high an interest rate to poor, risky borrowers. Forcing banks to charge even lower interest rates to these risky borrowers would have meant even more problems, not fewer ones. Atmospheric concentrations of carbon dioxide fluctuate slightly with the change of the seasons, driven primarily by seasonal plant growth in the northern hemisphere. Concentrations of carbon dioxide fall during the northern spring and summer as plants consume the gas, and rise during the northern autumn and winter as plants go dormant, die, and decay. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, thank goodness, because it transmits visible light but absorbs strongly the infrared or near-infrared wavelengths. You don't know. Yet you want green jobs, and you don't want us to drill offshore. You don't want us to drill on land. You don't want us to build nuclear power plants. You don't want us to build coal-fired power plants. You want us to have wind farms because you're green. What is carbon dioxide in its solid state? What's the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? What causes the amount of carbon dioxide to increase and decrease seasonally? You don't know. You don't want to know. You'll never know.
And you can see again how happy it feels to be recruited by the KGB. Pay special attention to the number of bottles on the table. One of my functions was to keep foreign guests permanently intoxicated the moment they land at Moscow airport. In 1967, the KGB attached me to this magazine, Look magazine. A group of 12 people arrived to USSR from the United States to cover the 50th anniversary of October Socialist Revolution in my country. From the first page to the last page, it was a package of lies.
Our conversation is with Mr. Yuri Alexandrovich Bezmenov. Mr. Bezmenov was born in 1939 in a suburb of Moscow. He was the son of a high-ranking Soviet Army officer. He was educated in the elite schools inside the Soviet Union and became an expert in Indian culture and Indian languages. He had an outstanding career with Novosti, which was the, and still is, I should say, the press arm or the press agency of the Soviet Union. It turns out that this is also a front for the KGB. One of his interesting assignments was to brainwash foreign diplomats when they visited Moscow. And he'll tell us a little bit about how they did this and how they planted information which eventually wound up in the press of the free world. He escaped to the West in 1970 after becoming totally disgusted with the Soviet system, and he did this at great risk to his life.